Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Maple Grove Scripture Reading Podcast. So last time we started chapter 38, where God speaks out of the storm and addresses Job directly for the very first time. The opening question that he had was a charge. Who is it that obscures my plans with words without knowledge? And then an invitation that wasn't quite what Job was expecting. He says, brace yourself like a man. I'll be asking the questions. And the first one was, where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? And then we had that image of the morning stars singing together and the angels shouting for joy when the cornerstone was laid. Well, today we're going to continue in chapter 38. We're going to go through verses 8 through 18. And God moves from the earth's foundation to two more questions. We're going to talk about the sea and the morning. So let me read it. Who shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb, when I made the clouds its garment and wrapped it in thick darkness, when I fixed limits for it and set its doors and bars in place, when I said, this far you may come and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. Have you ever given orders to the morning or shown the dawn its place, that it might take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it? The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment. The wicked are denied their light, and their upraised arm is broken. Have you journeyed to the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been shown to you? Have you seen the gates of the deepest darkness? Have you comprehended the vast expanses of the earth? Tell me if you know all this. Now, if you've ever spent time at the ocean, then you know the thing that I'm about to describe. You've got the waves rolling in, big, powerful, relentless. Think about that. They've crossed hundreds of miles of open water, and then they stop right at the edge of the beach. They foam up and pull back and come again and stop again in roughly the same place over and over for as long as you watch. Something holds them there. Nobody stands at the water's edge and commands them, but they stop. And that's the image that God opens with here. And he pushes it further than you might expect. The sea bursts forth from the womb. That's how God describes it. The sea has a birth. It comes rushing out of the womb, this massive, churning, wild thing. And what does God do when it arrives? He wraps it. He makes the clouds its garment and wraps it in thick darkness like swaddling clothes, like you would with a newborn. This enormous, uncontrollable force. And God's first move is to clothe it and swaddle it. And then he sets its limits, fixes its doors and bars, and says to it, well, look what he says to it. He says, this far you may come and no farther. Here's where your proud waves halt. The proud waves. They're described as proud, as if the sea itself is pushing and straining, wanting to go further. But God says, no, right here is where you stop. And they do stop every time for all of history. They stop where he says. Job has been pressing the question of whether God is actually governing anything, whether the moral order of the world is being run with any intention or justice. And God's answer here is, well, do you see the ocean? That's not an accident. I put it there. I set its limits. When it bursts forth, I clothe it and contain it, and it does what I say. Now think about what it would mean if the sea didn't stop. Every coastline would be submerged. Every low-lying plain would be flooded. Every river valley would be underwater. The whole surface of the earth would become unlivable. The sea staying in its place, that's not some minor feature of creation. It's the condition that makes everything else possible. Every farm, city, road, life, all of it happens because the waves stop where God told them to stop. We don't even think about it. We've never lived in a world where that wasn't true. But it takes nothing less than God's direct command to keep it that way. Now, if he can do that with the sea, what does that tell you about the governance of everything else? Now, then he talks about the morning, and here's how God puts it. Have you ever given orders to the morning or shown the dawn its place, that it might take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it? take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it. That's not an image that you might forget, really. Like dawn grabs hold of the whole earth and shakes it like you'd shake a tablecloth. And the people who are operating in the darkness get thrown away. Like they relied on darkness. They needed that. And then light comes. And what they were doing in the night is exposed. And their power is broken. And it's something that anybody who's ever done anything wrong understands pretty instinctively, right? Because darkness is protective. People do things at night that they won't do in daylight. And it's not just physical darkness, but it's the darkness of anonymity, of secrecy, of nobody watching. When the light comes on, the behavior changes. What seemed possible in the dark looks different in the morning. And God is saying, I'm the one who brings the morning every day. I give the dawn its place. I tell it where to appear. And when it does exactly what I send it to do. Well, then look at verse 14, where he says, the earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment. Before dawn, everything is formless. It's a dark, undifferentiated mass. And then the light comes and the world takes shape. It's like pressing a seal into clay, like a pattern coming forward in an embroidered cloth. It's the same world, but now you can see it. So the light gives it definition. Now, has Job given orders to the morning? Has he shown the dawn its place? No, he hasn't. He can't. He doesn't know where the light goes when the sun sets or how to bring it back. He can't explain why the same sun that set yesterday comes back in the same direction tomorrow. He just wakes up and it's there. God does this every single day, everywhere on earth, simultaneously, and has been doing it since before Job or any other human being existed to watch it happen. Well, then the questions go somewhere even harder to follow, where he says, have you journeyed to the springs of the sea or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been shown to you? Have you seen the gates of the deepest darkness? Have you comprehended the vast expanses of the earth? Tell me if you know all this. The springs of the sea, the deep ocean floor, the places where water wells up from below the earth. Job has no idea what's down there. The gates of death, the entrance to the realm of the dead. Has Job been there? Has he seen what's on the other side? You got the vast expanses of the earth, the far edges, the unmapped regions. Has Job comprehended that at all? Tell me if you know all this. That phrase keeps coming. Tell me if you understand. Surely you know. It's God pressing on the same point each time. You've been speaking with a lot of confidence about how I run things. So let's see what you actually know. Have you been to the bottom of the sea? Have you seen how the dawn operates? Have you set limits for the waves? Job hasn't. The answer to every question is no. And the accumulation of all of those no's is doing something. It's not designed to crush Job. It's designed to help him see where he actually is in relation to what God is actually doing. Job is one person in one place with one view of a very small portion of what God is running. He's looked at his own situation and concluded that something has gone wrong with the moral order of the universe. And God is showing him the ocean and the morning and the depths of the sea and the vast expanses of the earth. And he's asking, does this look like a God who's lost track of what he's doing? The same God who told the waves where to stop is the same God Job has been questioning. The same one who sends the dawn every morning and watches it shake the darkness out. The same one who knows the springs of the sea and the gates of death and everything Job has never seen and never will. That God has not stopped governing. He hasn't looked away. Now, the questions are going to keep coming. Next time, we're going to be in chapter 38, verses 19 through 30, where God asks us about light and darkness and storehouses of snow. We'll get there next time. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. God bless.